Welcome to Senior of the Month. I'm Barbara Chase, and our Senior of the Month is Ann Goldstein.
Hello. Good.
Welcome, Ann.
Thank you. Nice to be here.
And we are going to spend some time getting to know Ann a little better today. So, first of all, how old are you?
I'm 74.
And where were you born?
In Philadelphia.
So, you're not a Montclair native.
No.
When did you come to Montclair?
We moved here on Income Tax Day, April 15th of 1983. And it was snowing. It's very vivid in my mind, the day we moved.
Snow in April.
Snow in April.
I remember days like that. So, what was it that brought you to Montclair?
I got a job at Hoffman LaRoche, which was considered to be an excellent opportunity in those days.
It was. So you want to talk a little bit about that? Was that in your career bound life?
That was my career. I have a doctorate in biology, and I actually wrote my thesis in the area of obesity. But I was hired by Roche to run a small lab in the field of cardiovascular. And I stayed in the lab doing hands-on research for about 10 years, and then I went to other parts of the company that were further along in the drug development process, and ended up being a corporate VP in a department that Roche calls partnering. Most other companies call it licensing. And the group that I ran had the job of pulling together these multifunctional teams that had the responsibility to do a complete due diligence on all opportunities on molecules and potential drugs that were offered to us by outside companies. So the structure of the chemical, of the molecule, the patent, the manufacturing, everything. It was a full thing, A to Z. And then if we did do a deal with that company, the person from my group who'd run that due diligence had the responsibility to maintain a decent relationship with the partner for the duration of the partnership. So it's very interesting.
How long were you with Roche?
23 years. Yeah.
Okay, so currently, what are you engaged in as far as any type of community activity?
I would say my main community activity has to do with my involvement with aging in Montclair. I had one major project for them, which was to initially fact-check the Directory of Senior Services, which meant calling every number in that book and verifying whether it was still functional or not. And then I was part of a committee that translated that paper version to an online version. And I still volunteer for them at various meetings and events that they have. That's really my major volunteer commitment to the community. I have begun to become a little more active politically. I have personal things that I like to do. I'm in a couple of book groups, and I love the opportunity to meet and form relationships with women more or less in my age cohort. And I also appreciate that it forces me to read literature and books that I would never have chosen for myself, and sometimes I'm happily surprised. I also am active physically. I swim at the Y almost every day in the winter and at an outdoor swim club in the summer.
Wonderful.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Okay, so tell me what some of the important life lessons you feel that you've learned over your lifetime.
Yeah. One is that it's best to face hardships and difficulties directly. Another is, and it ties into the ability to face things directly, the ability to be a good listener, to make other people feel that you're really hearing what they're saying to you instead of devising a smart-ass reply,
yes.
which would have tended to be that would have been my natural tendency. Also, how important the love and support of family and friends are as you go through life and encounter, as even in the happiest life, you encounter difficulties. And that has been a mainstream. And the last major piece, which might seem surprising, is that I'm allowed to be happy. And that came to me at age 62. I remember because my brother-in-law, Joseph Goldstein, is a very well-known teacher of insight meditation. And once I retired, I began going for several retreats to the center where he is based. And in my very first retreat, where the instructors were trying to give us different tools to help us meditate, one was called loving kindness meditation. Mm-hmm. And I'd never heard of it. And it begins with, may I be happy. And the first time I said that, I just started to cry. It had never occurred to me that that was something that I could specifically ask for myself or admit to wanting directly for myself. And it had a big positive impact on my life.
Sounds wonderful.
It was.
Different, but wonderful.
Yeah, it's amazing that somebody had to teach me that I was allowed to ask for that. But it's true.
It's part of learning something every day from
Yeah.
whatever sources it comes, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so your mantra, the words that you live by day to day, what comes to mind?
Well, first of all, I really am very happy to wake up every day and to just to appreciate, to be grateful for the quality of life that I still have. I feel that I've been fortunate, but my real mantra is, and I feel it very deeply, is I would wish that level of fortune for every human being in the world. And I have to be strong to really think about that, because as soon as I think that, it comes so hard on me how many people in this country as well as other countries, in Montclair, let alone other places, have terrible struggles every day and may often feel they see no way out of it. But I wish that everyone could be fortunate.
So do I. And that's a major wish, I think, of a lot of people. And it's a very selfless wish.
Yes and no. If everyone were fortunate, a lot of the problems that we face in all societies would diminish.
Right. Tell me what about your future plans in Montclair?
Yeah. We really want to stay in Montclair as long as we can. It has great access to New York City, where I'm fortunate enough to have some friends that I can go and explore and do wonderful things. Secondly, it's got its own wonderful intellectual and art scene, the Montclair Film Festival, the Montclair Art Museum, the gallery walks. I like the farmers market. And also, we're fortunate enough to have our younger daughter and her family, including 2 granddaughters, live in Glen Ridge. So that's a very sweet tie to the location. And our older daughter and her sons live in Fishkill, which is also not a difficult commute from here. So all of these things keep me tied here, as well as our network of friends, and we have fun here.
I'm glad you're here.
Me too.
And thank you very much for the time and helping us to get to know you.
Thank you very much for inviting me.